males being very inexpressive about what they need from life.
Just being a man, you're taught to not show emotions because emotions are a sign of weakness.
What males need in a relationship versus what females need in a relationship.
A lot of people do not fundamentally cherish the sanctity of marriage and what that brings in.
Let's talk about a topic that has not been covered for years.
Okay.
There is a research done by Nancy Codoro about the male inexpressiveness. Males being very inexpressive about what they need from life. They don't express their emotions. As psychologist, what would you say about it?
It's both true and not true. So I think the main stigma with being a man, you're taught since birth to not show emotions because emotions are a sign of weakness. And it's very interesting that you bring that up because I think it's quite true in that regard. But the beautiful thing about being in North America is that I think with mental health awareness, it's really being brought to the surface. And a lot of men are realizing that it's okay to feel emotions. But even though it's okay to feel emotions, now the main struggle with a lot of men are how do I express it in a healthy way where I'm not taking anger out on the people I love and using it and channeling that anger productively. So I think that's the main challenge now.
But it really might take few decades to figure that out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think the beautiful thing is that because we are fundamentally in a society now that is a lot more aware of mental health, the issues that are coming about, I think there's a lot more open dialogue. And I think that's the first key pillar to healing what is happening. I think the second key thing is having women support men and men also supporting men in that healing process of learning to nurture your relationships and being open and expressive and vulnerable in your emotional expression.
What males need in a relationship
Versus females.
versus what females need in a relationship, they are very different. So, according to you, what is the preferred thing that a male needs in a relationship to be a good relationship, and versus females, what they need?
That's a great question. If I had to sum it down, men fundamentally need respect and women fundamentally need love. I think that's the simplest way that I could put it. Obviously, there still needs to be the nurturing and care. And I think that's where the polarity comes in because men fundamentally love that safe, nurturing environment. But at the very fundamental basis, as we talked about earlier, men fundamentally need that level of respect. Whereas for women, we fundamentally need that level of love, protection, and care.
Relationships nowadays going on, are they moving towards this thing? Are girls able to do that and are guys able to do that?
I think that's the main challenge these days is that with the divorce rates, a lot of people do not fundamentally cherish the sanctity of marriage and what that brings in because a lot of people are very caught off with they love the sparkle behind the marriage and not so much about the work that is required to sustain a healthy longevity, long-lasting relationship. So they love the idea of getting married without understanding the work that goes into a marriage. So I think that's the main challenge that people face these days is that they look for a partner that has I don't deny that money is important. We live in a money society, but I think women are very fixated on, they have to be 6 feet, they have to have the six pack, they have to have the 6 figures and all of these things that they forget about the fundamental values, the morals and the ethics behind that person because these things are the actual evergreen qualities that a lot of people aren't looking for in a relationship. And I think these are the qualities that determine the actual longevity of a relationship. Because yes, you can marry a person that's very beautiful and very handsome, but they're not going to be beautiful or handsome forever. In about 10 to 20 years, they're going to start losing hair. They might, lose their job. If they are working a hands-on job, if they get into a workplace accident, now all of a sudden you're out of a job and it's these evergreen qualities that will sustain the longevity of a relationship. But because people are looking for the superficial qualities, A lot of these relationships don't last because as soon as the woman gets, older and their youth no longer is with them, if the man is fundamentally looking for a woman that only has those looks, now he's going to go for someone that's younger and is better looking. But if you are fundamentally looking for a partner that is grounded in the morals, ethics, and values, these are the actual determining factors for something that will last the lifetime, that will last through having kids when a woman's body changes, through all of the mood swings with postpartum depression. Those are the things that you need to know your partner is able to handle because life inevitably is going to throw you the struggles and hardships. You need to fundamentally be able to ride those waves together. And if you can't, that is going to break the marriage fundamentally.
I usually say one thing that, according to my belief, you cannot change your parents, can you?
No.
You can't.
No.
You cannot change your siblings. You can't. Then how is it possible that you can change your partner?
There's no way.
You decided one, and then you go on breakups, divorce, and all this. What if it was meant to be this way that you cannot change your partner? It's decided by God once.
That's correct.
Would it be same?
Yeah, there's no way you can change your partner. But what I fundamentally believe in, so what I personally seek in my relationships is someone that will grow with you. Because I think one of the scariest sayings is, well, you chose to marry me. I came as I am. And I think that's a very toxic saying because I would never, ever want to marry someone that doesn't grow as a person. I think the important
I think
part is
change
growing.
comes.
Yes, exactly. It's
Change
natural.
has to come.
Exactly. And it's part of
But the
life.
change should not separate you, but to unite you.
Exactly.